Sudana, the youth, then asked, "What is the birthplace of the Bodhisattva?" Maitreya replied, "Son of good family, the Bodhisattva has 10 kinds of birthplaces. What are those 10? Son of good family, they are as follows. The Bodhi resolve is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the clan of the Bodhisattvas. Deep resolve is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the clan of the good spiritual guides. The grounds are the Bodhisattva's birthplace because they enable his birth into the house of the Paramitas. The great vows are the Bodhisattva's birthplace because they enable his birth into the house of the marvelous practices. The great compassion is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the house of the 4 means of attraction. Meditative contemplation in accordance with principle is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the house of the Prajna Paramita. The great vehicle is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the house of skillful means. The teaching of beings is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the clan of the Buddha. Wisdom and skillful means are the Bodhisattva's birthplace because they enable his birth into the house of the unproduced Dharma's patience. And the cultivation of all dharmas is the Bodhisattva's birthplace because it enables his birth into the clan of all Tathagatas of the past, present, and future. Son of good family, as for the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, he takes the Prajna Paramita as his mother. He takes skillful means as his father. He takes the Paramita of giving as his wet nurse. He takes the Paramita of moral virtue as his nursemaid. He takes the Paramita of patience as his adornment. He takes the Paramita of vigor as the one that raises him. He takes the Paramita of meditation as the person who bathes him. He takes the good spiritual guide as his master teacher. He takes all the enlightenment factors as his companions. He takes all good dharmas as his retinue. He takes all the bodhisattvas as his brothers. He takes the Bodhi resolve as his clan. He takes cultivation in accordance with principle as the law governing his clan. He takes the grounds as the dwelling place of his clan. He takes the patiences as his relatives. He takes the great vows as the clan's teachings. He takes the complete fulfillment of all the practices as compliance with the law governing his clan. He takes promotion of the great vehicle as the continuance of the clan's karmic works. He takes as the royal prince the bodhisattva at the stage of the crown anointing consecration, who has but one remaining incarnation prior to Buddhahood. And he takes the complete realization of Bodhi as what purifies the clan. Son of good family, it is in these ways that the Bodhisattva transcends the grounds of the common person, enters the stations of the Bodhisattvas, is born into the family of the Tathagata, dwells in the Buddha's lineage, is able to cultivate the practices, refrains from cutting short the lineage of the 3 jewels, is well able to preserve and protect the clan of the Bodhisattvas, purifies the Bodhisattva lineage, is born into venerable and superior circumstances, remains free of transgressions, and is revered and praised by everyone in the world, including the Devas, humans, Mara, Brahma, the Shramanas, and the Brahmins. Son of good family, Once the Bodhisattva Mahasattvas have been born into such a venerable and esteemed clan as this, because they know all dharmas are like reflected images, there is nothing in the world that they disdain as inferior. Because they know all dharmas are like transformational created phenomena, they have no defiling attachment to any of the stations of existence. Because they know all dharmas are free of any self, their minds do not grow weary of teaching beings. Because they take the great kindness and compassion as their essential nature, they do not find gathering in beings to be toilsome. Because they completely comprehend samsara as like a dream, they have no fear of passing through all kalpas. Because they completely understand that the aggregates are all like illusions, they manifest the appearance of taking on births, and yet are free of any distress or disdain in doing so. Because they realize that all the sense realms and sense bases are the same as the Dharma realm itself, they remain uninjured by the sense realms. Because they realize all perceptions are like a mirage, when they enter the rebirth destinies, they do not generate any of the delusions characteristic of the inverted views. Because they have a penetrating comprehension of all dharmas as like illusions, even when they enter spheres of experience influenced by the maras, they still do not generate any defiling attachments. Because they know the Dharma body, they cannot be deceived by any of the afflictions. And because they have acquired sovereign mastery over them, they have an unimpeded comprehension of all the rebirth destinies. Son of good family, my bodies are born everywhere throughout the entire Dharma realm, with forms and appearances the same as those of all beings, with different languages the same as those of all beings, with many different kinds of names the same as those of all beings, with modes of comportment matching the dispositions of all beings, and conforming to the ways of the world in order to teach and train them, with the manifestation of taking birth matching that of all the pure beings there, with endeavors and livelihoods the same as all common beings, with ways of thinking that match those of all beings, and with vows matching those of all bodhisattvas. It is in these ways that these bodies have come to completely fill the Dharma realm. Son of good family, it was in order to teach and liberate those with whom I have cultivated the practices in the distant past, who have now retreated from their Bodhi resolve. It was also in order to teach parents and relatives, and it was also in order to teach Brahmins, so as to enable them to abandon caste-based arrogance and acquire birth into the lineage of the Tathagata. It was for all these reasons that I have been born in this realm of Jambudvipa, in the state of Malada, in the village of Kuti, in the household of a Brahmin. Son of good family, as I abide in this great tower, I adapt to the disposition of beings, and thus use all kinds of skillful means to teach and train them. Son of good family, I do this to adapt to the inclinations of beings. I do this to ripen the devas in the Tushita heaven who are engaged in the same practice. I do this to manifest transformations and adornments of a bodhisattva's merit and wisdom that surpass those of all others in the desire realm. This is also done to enable beings to abandon the delights of sensual desires. This is also done to enable beings to realize that all conditioned existence is impermanent. This is also done to enable beings to realize that all the flourishing abundance of the heavens is bound to perish. This is also done at the time bodhisattvas are about to descend to take birth, wishing to manifest the Dharma gateway of great knowledge by joining and reciting it together with other bodhisattvas, having but one more rebirth before Buddhahood. This is also done wishing to attract and teach those who are engaged in the same practices. This is also done wishing to teach those who have been sent here by Shakyamuni with the intention of enabling them to open and awaken like blooming lotuses and then take birth in the Tushita heaven at the end of this life. Son of good family, you and Manjushri will both see me again when my vows have been fulfilled and I attain all knowledge. Son of good family, you should now go and pay your respects to Manjushri, the good spiritual guide, and ask him how the bodhisattva should train in the bodhisattva practices, how he should enter Samantabhadra's gateways of practice, how he should perfect them, how he should broaden them, how he should accord with them, how he should purify them, and how he should completely fulfill them. Son of good family, he shall distinguish and explain these matters for you. Why? All of Manjushri's great vows are of a sort that none of the other countless hundreds of thousands of kotis of mayutas of bodhisattvas could possess. Son of good family, the practices of Manjushri the youth are vast. His vows are boundless, and he incessantly produces the meritorious qualities of all bodhisattvas. Son of good family, Manjushri has always served as the mother of countless hundreds of thousands of kotis of nayutas of Buddhas, and he has always served as the master teacher of countless hundreds of thousands of kotis of nayutas of bodhisattvas. He teaches and ripens all beings. His fame extends everywhere throughout the worlds of the 10 directions. He has always served as a Dharma teacher in the congregations of all Buddhas, and he is praised by all Tathagatas. He abides in extremely deep wisdom, and he is able to perceive all dharmas in accordance with reality. He has a penetrating comprehension of all the realms of liberation, and he has completed all of Samantabhadra's practices. Son of good family, Manjushri is your good spiritual guide. He enables your birth into the clan of the Tathagata, your growth of all roots of goodness, your production of all the provisions for the path to enlightenment, and your meeting with genuine good spiritual guides. He enables your cultivation of all the meritorious qualities, your entry into the network of all vows, and your abiding in the great vows. He explains all the bodhisattva's esoteric dharmas for you, shows you the inconceivable practices of all bodhisattvas, and in the past has been born together with you in the same places where you have both undertaken the same practices. Therefore, son of good family, you should be tireless in going to see Manjushri to pay your respects to him, for Manjushri will explain all the meritorious qualities for you. Why? All those good spiritual guides you have previously seen, all the teachings of the bodhisattva practices you have heard, all the gateways of liberation you have entered, and all the great vows you have fulfilled have all been due to the awesome spiritual powers of Manjushri. Manjushri has reached the ultimate degree of achievement in all these things. Sudana the youth then bowed down in reverence at the feet of Maitreya, and circumambulated him countless times as he gazed up at him in attentive admiration. He then respectfully withdrew and departed.